Hello there everyone, welcome to Edupedia World 9th Grade Computer Applications video lecture series. I'm Upeka Vandibona and this is the first part of question collection for object orientation and programming concepts that will cover up section 6, 7 and 8. So here is the first question. In this question you have to compile and run the source codes given in here. At the compile time, sometimes it may give you an error. If so, you have to fix it. And finally you have to tell us what is the output. And there is a one condition. You cannot use the Java virtual machine to compile and run these source codes. You have to use your brain compiler. So to be a compiler, you have to think like a compiler and act like a compiler. So where do we get started? In this source code you can see there are two classes. One is DVD player and the other one is DVD player test drive. So first, to be a compiler we need to find out which class includes the main method. Here you can see the main method includes in DVD test drive class. So now we have to execute the statements inside the main method. So the first statement is creating a DVD player object. It is identified as D. So in the DVD player class you can see it has a one instance variable as can record and a one method as record DVD. So the second statement is assigning a value to the instance variable can record. So it assigns the value true. If we take the instance variable where it declares the DVD player class, it is a Boolean variable. So that means you can include only two values for the can record. One is true and one is false. So they are not string values, they are logical values. Therefore we do not need to insert double quotation around the true and false. It is just a logical value. You can directly say false and true. So default the can record is false, but in here we assigned a new value as true. In the third statement, it is calling a method, play DVD. So in the DVD player class, you can see there is no method as play DVD. So surely at the compile time, there would be an error at the third statement, which is the play DVD method calling. So to fix that, we have to insert a new method as play DVD right in here. So now let's try to write this play DVD method. The parentheses and curly braces. Inside the curly braces I am going to do a system.out.println statement. So here I am going to write a shortened form, but when you are coding you have to do the full statement. Remember the semicolon at the end of the statement. So this is our play DVD method. The next statement is a if statement. Inside the parentheses of the if statement, it is checking for a condition. So in this condition you can see it uses two equal operators. A one equal operator used to assign a value for instance variable. Now in here it uses two equal operators. That means it is checking the equality. So it checks whether the dot can record is equal to true. So the default value of the can record is false, but at the main method we have changed into true. Therefore this condition is returning a true. If it returns a true value, we can go inside the if statement. So inside the if statement, it is calling for a method as record DVD. So in the record DVD method, it has a println statement as DVD recording. So at the command prompt, when it runs the program, you will get the output of this statement as well as this statement. Here is the second question. It has the same pattern. You have to use your brain compiler. So in this source code, you have two classes. One class is tape deck and the other class is tape deck test drive. First we have to find the class where the main method is including. So the main method is including in the tape deck test drive. So we have to start from there. So in this main method, the first statement is T can record equal true. So what is this T? So in this statement, surely there would be an error. It could not identify what would be the T. So it might be the object tape deck. So we have to write this object initiation in here. So here I am going to create the new tape deck object. We have to name it as T. Remember, when you are writing the code, you have to put this in the same line. And remember to finish it with semicolon. So this is how we create objects. So now we know what is T. So T.canRecord is true. That means we are going to change the default canRecord equal false value into true. And in the next statement, it is calling a method playTape. In the playTape method, it includes a println statement. So at the console, you will get this part over here. In the next statement, it has a if condition. So in the condition, it check the equality of T.canRecord is equal to true. So yes, the canRecord is true because at the main method we have changed into true. Therefore, we can go inside the if statement. So inside the if statement, it is calling another method as record tape. So inside the record tape method, it has another println statement and it says tape recording, and you will get this output at the command prompt too. So at the end, in the command prompt, you can see these two statements. In this exercise, what we have to do is reconstruct these code snippets. They are mixing everywhere. We have to rearrange them. So some of them are missing curly braces. We have to include them as well. And we have the output given in here. And according to the output, we have to arrange the code snippets. So let's start this exercise. Okay, now the first thing we have to do is identify the classes in these code snippets. So the class keyword is appearing over in here and also in here. So there are two classes, DrumKit test drive, and surely that class should include the main method, and the other class is DrumKit. First of all, let's label the two classes. Number one is DrumKit test drive and the number two is DrumKit. Okay, in the DrumKit class, it should include the instance variables and methods. First, we identify what are the instance variables. So, instance variables are appearing in here. There are two instance variables, top hat and snare, and both of them are Boolean variables, and the default value is true. So it includes in the second class. And now for the methods. There are two methods appearing in here. One is play top hat and the other one is play snare. So both of them are goes in the second class. Okay, now we are done with the drum kit, and surely all the other code snippets should go in the drum kit test drive. What we should have to do is arrange the order. So the first one should be the main method. So I'm going to label the main method code snippet as 1.1. And inside the main method, the first statement should be creating the object. The object creation code snippet is in here. So I'm going to label it 1.2. Now in the output, the first thing is bang bang thing. So the bang bang is outputted from the play snare method. So first statement should be play snare method calling, and then next statement should be play top hat method calling, because it includes the ding ding thing. So the play snare method calling is in over here. So I'm going to label it 1.3. And the play top hat method calling is in here, and I'm going to label it 1.4. Okay, now we are done with creating the drum kit test drive class. You can see two code snippets were not used in here. This code snippet and this code snippet. And here is a extra question. If we have to include all the code snippets, where does these two code snippets go? Let's try to find the answer. So in this code snippet, it includes a if statement. Inside the condition, it is checking whether the snare is equal to true. So by default, the snare variable has a true value. So surely we can go inside the if statement. So inside the if statement, it includes a method calling as play snare. So we do not need another play snare method calling, because we have already done a play snare method calling. Therefore, what we have to do is we should make not to go inside the if statement. So this condition over here should return a false value. To do that, we can use this code snippet. In this code snippet, it is assigning a false value to the snare variable. So if the snare variable is false, this condition would be false, and we are not going inside the if statement and calling the play snare method. So actually we do not need these two code snippets to come up with this output. So let's try to find out where are the missing curly braces. So first start with the class drum kit. It start a curly brace and start with the instance variables and go with the methods play top hat and play snare, and at the end we have to give a ending curly brace for the drum kit class. And in the drum kit test drive, we have a opening curly brace, and in the main method we have another opening curly brace, and inside the main method we are going to insert the drum kit object creation thing and play snare method calling and play top hat method calling, and at the end we have to close the main method closing curly brace and the drum kit test drive class curly brace. So that's how we can finish this exercise. In this exercise we are given 4 terms: class, method, object and instance variable, and we have to identify which term or terms represented by each of the statement. The first one, I am compiled from a .java file. In the command prompt, we are using javac to compile a .java file, and thereafter we are receiving a .class file. So the answer is class. The second question, my instance variable values can be different from my body values. So from dog object to dog object, their names, their sizes, their breeds can be different. So this is talking about objects. The third question, I behave like a template. So if we consider the button class as a factory, we can create many buttons using that factory. So this class is like a template. We are saying a class is a blueprint. So this statement is talking about class. The next question, I like to do stuff. So in a class we are defining instance variables and methods, and for methods we are saying they are the things that objects do. So this statement is talking about method, or else we can say it is also talking about object. The fifth question, I can have many methods. So we are defining methods in the class, and each object created using the class can have it. So the perfect answer is object, and also you can say class. The next question, I represent state. In an object, the instance variable holds the changing data. Therefore, we can say instance variable represents the state of the object. The next question, I have behaviors. So for this, the answers are same as in the question number 5, because from the methods we are mentioning the behaviors. So the answer is object, or else we can say classes. The next question, I am located in objects. In a class, we are defining the instance variables and methods, and the objects created by using that class has those instance variables and methods. So we can say instance variables and methods can be located in objects. Therefore, the answer is instance variable and method. The ninth question, I am used to create object instances. We say the class is the blueprint for create the objects. For this question, the answer is class. The 10th question, my state can change. The changing data of an object, which means its state, is represented by the instance variables. Therefore, we can say the answers as object, or else we can say instance variable. The next question, I declare methods. So we are declaring methods in the template. That means the class. The last question, I can change at runtime. We can define a default value for instance variable at the class, and at the main method we can change that default value. So the runtime means what we are doing in the main method. As we are changing the value of the instance variable in the runtime, it means we are changing the states of the object. Therefore, the perfect answers for these final questions are instance variable and object. So that's all what we got here from the basics. Hope you find out these questions much useful because you can stick what you have learned in here. And from the next episode we will look at the primitive data types in Java. So thank you for watching and see you from the next lecture. This video brought to you by edupediaworld.com. Watch more from our website.